All right, we're doing it. Greetings to glorious communist depths of gaming for episodes
Greetings!
of 64. That is Comrade Yahith.
And that is Comrade Necro! Hello!
Indeed.
How are you
And we
today?
go into gaming depths today.
Ah,
Because
it's pretty dark down there.
it is. We better use capitalist
Death charges.
death charges.
Yes.
We Happy Few will not be banned in Australia. They reviewed it.
Oh.
Yeah.
And what did the... Australians always have an issue with video games, don't
It's
they?
always something very specific. Yeah, and this time
Yeah.
it was the drug in We Happy Few. Because everyone takes this drug called joy. And so it makes them crazy, it makes them hallucinate. And so they were concerned because of its presence in the game, but they looked at it and they decided that it wouldn't be harmful to Australia to show people this game. Because
Yeah.
you're kind of rebelling against it in We
Yeah,
Happy
you have
Few.
to avoid the drug.
Joy is treated as a very bad thing. So
Yes. I can never understand Australians. Why the hell do they are so uptight with games? I believe that they had a problem with Grand Theft Auto 5.
they probably did.
Yeah, and few other games. Okay, so what's next?
Next would be a hamburger from Fortnite appeared in the Southern California desert as part of hype for the new season.
Ooh, interesting.
Is-
They
yeah, they set up a site out there and they hired a photographer to walk around there, and he found the site. So
It's ARG. It's fun.
it's fun. It's an ARG. But a lot of regular people have been going out there too, and they've been getting handed like cards that have like phone numbers on it. And so the fact that the photographer didn't get a card also kind of makes me go, that was kind of a setup.
Yep.
I'm not supposed
If I was doing this, I would just throw the cards around around the hamburger and just walk away.
Yeah, like there'd be a little dispenser with the cards or something. So, yeah, I guess time portals have been ripping stuff out of Fortnite and dumping it in our world.
Yes. If only that was true.
If only if that actually was what was happening, that would be really cool.
How would that thing actually look? If you take something from the game into the real world, it's just a mesh. It's just two-dimensional on the inside. There's nothing on the inside.
That's very offensive. You're just a sprite. You're not a person. But.
Shut it, sprite. User demands your presence somewhere else.
Warframe is desperately adding new content to stay relevant.
Well, it's a very good game.
They're adding like hoverboards and new content and all that.
Okay, are they adding hoverboards or are they adding those shitty things that are on wheels that are called hoverboards?
It's the space future. They're actual hoverboards, asshole.
Listen, it would be actually kind of fun if it was the shitty wheeled one. And it was actually slow. Like, imagine going through Warframe on a Segway.
Just there's Space Ninja doing tricks and shit all around you.
So yeah, at least they're trying new things and trying to keep the game alive. So
absolutely.
And I believe that Warframe developers are actually quite pro-consumer. They do have this dialogue with users that is very commendable in today's day and age.
Speaking of who doesn't have any kind of good graces with their people, Nintendo. Because if they keep getting sold off at the rate they are, they're gonna go away. Because Japanese stockholders are dropping stocks like it's hot.
Yeah, apparently they don't really trust Nintendo to sell the hardware in the numbers that they promised that they will sell. The momentum is just not there, at least from the point of view of a stockholder. But Nintendo is trying to actually mitigate that by saying, hold your horses. We haven't revealed all the games for this year yet, which is a bit late, but okay. So we'll see. We'll see how it works. I definitely want to see how the new management in Nintendo will handle that.
We'll see, because there's a lot of things that can happen here.
Yeah, give me a second. I want to see who are they replacing with who. Come on, don't keep the air dead. Say something.
Don't keep the air dead. Is that a Polish phrase?
No, dead air is an English phrase.
Well, it's radio talk for keeping audio frequencies operational. Sorry, I thought you were going to lead into something. Anyways,
I want to, because however I lost the page.
Smaller scale retail investors aren't the kind of people that are moving this sort of stock. It's large Japanese firms, and the thing about Japanese firms is they get better options and liquidity to these options. And that's all stockbroker talk for they're basically stronger stocks. And so corporations have been selling this off. Now, this is big because their stock started upwards of $50. Now it's starting to go towards $39.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's mid 39 right now, and it's getting very close to hitting 39 flat.
Ooh.
And it's probably not. The worst case scenario is it's going to go under 20 for a while, and then it'll climb back up as people buy up their stock. So I'm not.
Yeah, it's definitely a time to buy Nintendo stock because it's going on the up. So definitely you want to put as many of those stocks into your pockets, because Nintendo exists like for past 300 years or something like that.
Well, Nintendo, Blizzard, those are the kinds of companies where they're never going away.
Yeah. Especially Nintendo, because after rebranding, it's working for like ages now. It's basically being passed down from father to son to adopted son and another adopted son.
Because Nintendo and Sony, for that matter, have managed to make characters that stuck out to people, and everyone knows who Mario is.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a lot of power.
Yeah, their brand recognition is very high. I don't know. Is Mario more recognizable than Nintendo? I think it. I think that would be the case.
I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
So, moving on to companies that have made interesting choices, Jessica Price is now looking for a job.
Yes, indeed. Imagine a lady that basically said, "Oh, I'm glad this person is dead," has lost a job.
Yeah, because earlier this year, she openly mocked Total Biscuit's funeral because, as we all know, the proper protocol for if one of your critics dies is to openly celebrate his death.
Yeah, that's like a nightmare for PR. Imagine you work at a PR at a company, and then suddenly you hear one of your employees tweeting on Twitter that they're glad someone is dead. And that reflects on the company, right? You can't just let that pass. You can't just slap them on the wrist and say, don't do that anymore, right? Because that's a direct attack at the brand, something that we mentioned here before, and you cannot allow that to happen.
Because the funny thing about free speech is it only goes so far. And
yes,
when you do something like what she did, which is she told someone trying to improve the game, they were just giving their opinions. They're saying, "Hey, I believe that you're wrong when you say that MMORPGs are stuck a certain way and you're not able to have character development," which doesn't make fucking sense. By the way, I agree with him. How does having... Okay, so there's this popular myth that if you have an online game, because of how you used to have to design games, it felt like you were crafting one experience for thousands of people. Nowadays, you're actually able to have an environment where each player can, to some extent, stand out. City of Heroes and Villains, for instance, was very popular for a while because you could be whoever the fuck you wanted.
So my question basically becomes, what kind of asshole do you have to be to act like that?
Because he's saying he wanted more of a branching story narrative.
Yeah.
And
she basically told him off, right?
She told him off, yeah.
And you can't really do that to a customer, especially not in public, especially not on the internet. Because on the internet, you're not just in public where, like, at any point might be 20 people around you at most, right? On the internet, there are thousands of people around you that see exactly what you said.
Yeah, because it's all recorded, and even if you delete your tweets, someone saw it anyway,
and saved it and made sure that it's not going away. You can't just go back on your word on the internet like that. You can't backpedal, especially on the internet. There is no way to weasel out, "Oh, this is not what I meant. This is not exactly what I said," right? So if there's something, if you work for a corporation, you basically sign a contract that you're not going to work, that you're not going to do anything that would hurt the brand.
Yeah, basically. You're not allowed.
There's a clause up.
Yeah. It's universally accepted that you are not allowed to make your company look bad.
Yeah, and if you're on the internet, on Twitter, and someone and Twitter, people on Twitter piss you off, Go away from Twitter. You do not need it to survive.
So, and yeah, I believe that the right thing was done here, because if you have a lazy game designer that has to be told how to do their job frequently by random people on the internet, and they temper tantrum against people against customers trying to improve their product, and you're tantruming against them, and pretend, she even plays the woman card. Today, in being a female game developer, allow me, a person who does not work with you, explain to you how to do your job. Now, there's a lot wrong with that statement. Let us count the ways. Number one, as we all know, there's never been a case of a male game developer being told how to do their job. Never happened. Number two.
No. It's not like there exists a specific job that is directly designed in order to tell you what to do. It's called a manager. And it doesn't matter whether whether you have a vagina or you have a penis.
The whole point of YouTube is to tell other people how to do their job.
Yes, especially the fact that you don't have to be I don't have to work with you. Neither do I have to be a game designer myself in order to tell you what your job is. My job as a critic is to say how I feel about the game, where do I feel it could be better, and if I tell you that, you don't get to say, "Oh, fuck you! You're a man telling a woman what to do, how to do her job." You do not get to do something like that.
We live in a culture where we love this ability to rhetorically shut people down. We feel like if we get a victory out of shutting someone up, we're defeating them and we're better than them. And I don't understand it. I don't get it.
I don't get that.
Out of utter fucking hatred.
I don't get the idea where you have to get offended at everything. Like, so someone said something on you on Twitter. Oh, it must be because I'm a woman. It must be because he's a misogynist. It can't be because that person has a love for the game and try to give you a suggestion.
Because the thing about MMO games is people play them a lot. That's the whole point.
And a lot of people play them.
Yes. So you're going to get a lot of people that have very intricate requests for the game. And so it'll feel like they're trying to tell you how to do your job. But that's only because they would like that feature. It's a request. And normal people take it as a request. But if you're Jessica Price, that is clearly an attack on your femininity, and you need to slander them.
Yes.
While you're toasting the death of your rival.
Yeah. This shit makes my blood boil. I don't like that.
Yeah. I mean, how from the Middle Ages does this chick have to be? Like,
how far?
Like, I swear, there is some legitimate despotism going on in this. No,
she's basically looking for a casus belli. That's it.
Absolutely, everything's a goddamn casus belli to her. It's like, oh, you slandered me, casus belli. Oh, you're dead. Claim your land, casus belli.
Oh, you said something about me, casus belli. I'm going to attack you now.
You fired me.
I have the right to attack you now.
You fired me, casus belli.
I'm going to invade your company with my armies.
Fuck you, Jessica Price. On to answers that nobody wanted.
You.
What's the deal?
What do you have in store?
What's the deal with Traveler 5? Does anyone play this? It looks more like a world-building handbook than an RPG system. Wow, that did read like a Seinfeld joke.
I don't really know much about the 5th edition, so please enlighten me, Necro, because I think you know something about that.
Yes. Let me pull up my copy. Traveller 5 is Mark Miller's continuation, his lifeblood, as it were, to continue Traveller as more of a hardcore science fiction role-playing game than the more casual game that that first and second edition Mongoose Traveller focus on.
Oh. So he's basically trying to rein it in?
Yeah, this is the 5th of the direct line of editions of the Traveller game system, ambitiously intended as the ultimate science fiction role-playing system covering nearly anything in role-playing, and capable of managing situations across a variety of eras and tech levels. And holy shit, is it complicated. It's now, the game's actually not done yet. It's actually still being created, I believe, because this is currently a 760-page document.
Nice.
And I believe it's going to be around 900 when it's done.
Yeah, it's basically going to add a couple of inches to your height if you stand on it.
Like there was a book I saw recently called Zweihander that was also a gigantic book, and my joke was they named the RPG because that's how you're supposed to handle the book.
With 2 hands. If they went like full on medieval on that, and basically put the handbook in a wooden frame, like on the backside, and all the covers are made out of wood and clad in leather, I would like that. That would be awesome. And some iron locks to basically keep it closed.
And when it comes to the actual game, it is rules dense. It is extremely rules dense because there are rules for everything. There are rules for like 20 different kinds of space engines. There are rules. There are gigantic charts for careers and I didn't even look at that yet. I'm so terrified. There are rules for genetics and clones and chimeras and androids and I'm just reading the contents now.
Basically, so basically, what you're saying is
there's a 40-page section on how starships work without the combat part.
So basically, what you're saying is that this book creates a need for fans who know how to program shit to basically create
it was specifically
a user interface for the book.
It was specifically invented for people like you, yes. Because I've come to that same conclusion. There's no normal person would sit at a table and work through this shit without being some kind of programmer or worker. Like, this is a rich person who doesn't socialize this game. Like, you're all sitting at a table going... No, like, I mean that if you get, like, a real-life table of people to play this, they have to be, like, rich people that have 8 hours to spend on a session.
Yes, I agree with that. This game is for people who like rules, and that means that it's for IT, software engineers, and for lawyers.
Yes.
Cause there's a lot of information here. The one thing I have taken to is there's a pretty in-depth system for charting out planets, And that's something I also might put you to work on.
Yay!
Because it has like a information, a chart that you would basically feed into a generator to do it for you. Otherwise, you're doing this shit by hand.
Yeah, there's a lot of weight that is being. From what you say, right? I imagine that there's a lot of weight that is put both on the GM and on the players, because both of those parties need to handle a shit ton of rules.
Yeah, if you're going to actually play Traveller 5, you need to be on your game. And unfortunately, he's not available right now. Otherwise, I would have pulled him into the call to talk about this. But there's a guy on the official, official question mark server named Packrat or something like that, and he's the Traveller 5 guy. He always talks about Traveller 5. We might get his opinion on this later, but yes.
Next week.
That's an intense question. If to actually handle Traveller 5, I would use it as a expansion book for playing a different edition.
Oh, I see.
Like play Traveller Mongoose Traveller 2 with it. Like play some other edition that you're comfortable with and just turn a Traveller 5 when you want really hardcore rules.
So basically treat it as a supplement.
Yes.
That makes sense.
That would be the easiest way. Otherwise you're gonna have to learn a lot of shit. Because looking at the appendices scares me. Dice, E-Hex, the ton, range and distance, benchmarks, costs, values, size, hot and cold, money, humanity, master mods, the Imperial Canada, systematic crimes. Oh God, those are charts.
So many charts.
Charts upon charts upon charts. So yeah, that was your super quick Depths of Gaming dive for today.
Yay! Thank you everyone for watching.
See you next week.